What is the New Year's Transformation Challenge? I am so glad you asked. I'm so excited that you're here, and this video is gonna break down everything you need to know about our newest and best challenge yet. So if you've been here a while, you might be familiar with our 6-week challenge. This is our best program for new members. The New Year's Transformation Challenge it's like a similar box with different wrapping paper. So we've added some extra sparkle and bows and ways to spice it up that I think are gonna take the accountability and the results to the next level. So what is different about the Transformation Challenge is that it's a synchronous start date. What that means, we are going to have a group of 20 challengers that are all starting on the same day. So not only do you get a 6-week challenge, 6-week program, which has, I'll explain to you everything that the 6-week challenge normally comes with, but you get the added benefit of starting in a live cohort. So you have a built-in group of people who you're all working through the challenge at the same time, okay? So in terms of what the program includes, our 6-week challenge, this is our Confidence Transformation Challenge. This is our absolute best program for new members. It is designed for people who are not currently in a solid exercise routine and looking to make a lifestyle change, okay? Looking to get into a solid routine. So this program, again, is designed for if you're not exercising consistently, and if you haven't already, there's that application form or goal setting where we're gonna go through that should qualify and help you understand, is this gonna be a good fit for me? And we look for a very specific set of individuals. We want people who are gonna be actually not just committed to the program, but also committed to the community, to the group, to that live cohort, who really want to get engaged in a team, right? In a team setting. So, not exercising consistently, or maybe you're exercising, but it's a little here and there. You started, you stopped, you've taken a break, you've fallen off track, whatever it is, and you want to get into a solid routine. And ultimately, you want to restart for the last time. So this is not meant to be 6 weeks and done. This is meant to be a 6-week transformation where by the end of 6 weeks, you have the habits, the routine, the mindset, and the community to stick with this long-term, whether that's at Shine or outside of Shine. That's what we teach you to do. In terms of what it includes, 6-week challenge, so fitness, mindset, accountability. Fitness, mindset, accountability. There's 3 parts to it because we know that sticking with fitness has actually very little to do with the workouts and has everything else to do with your lifestyle, your friends, your community, the environment, and all those external factors. So in terms of fitness, you work one-on-one with your coach. This is why there's a very limited number of spots because we can only start so many people at a time, and we will give you a personalized workout program based on our Shine Fit curriculum. So if you're new here, you've never heard the term of our curriculum before, this is our athletic training curriculum and how we determine where to start you off. So we're setting you up with a sustainable routine that's going to get you results in a way that you can continue with long-term. So I'll briefly overview phase 1 of our curriculum. This is for if you're not exercising at all or haven't in at least a few months or longer. Phase 1, we want to get you to 2.5 hours per week, okay? 2.5 hours is the equivalent of 150 minutes. And the CAC guidelines say 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity is how much you need for general health and maintenance. So in essence, what this means is 80% of the benefits of exercise come from that first 2.5 hours a week. This is the 80-20 rule, if you ever heard of Pareto's principle. So 80% of the benefits come from literally just hitting 2.5 hours a week. Once you've done that consistently, okay, for 6 to 12 weeks, then we would move you into phase 2 of training. If you want. If you wanted to stay in phase 1 forever and just hit that 2.5 hour mark a week, that's amazing. That's all you actually need. Anything else is a bonus. What our members find, they actually love it so much, exercise becomes such the best hour of your day that you want to do it more. So when you're going into phase 2, this is when you've been nailing phase 1 consistently. This is like building blocks, it's foundations, okay? So phase 2, then we're adding in fitnessy concepts like progressive overload, periodization, training splits, heart rate zone training, right? So these are, again, the more exercise science-based things to optimize your training, to really start to focus on building strength, endurance, longevity, switching up the type of exercise so you have a really, really solid routine. Again, this is designed once you're out of that phase 1, okay? Typically in phase 2, that's looking like 4 to 5 sessions a week. And then beyond that, that's not even relevant to the challenge, so we won't go into other phases of our curriculum. But phase 1 and phase 2 are the most important. In phase one, 2.5 hours a week, which is likely, you can already see, if you're already exercising kind of consistently and you're really just looking for that accountability community, then we probably would start you in an abbreviated phase one. And if you're crushing that for 2-3 weeks, then we move you to phase two right away. But phase one, 2.5 hours a week, that's 3 sessions a week, okay? 3 full-length workouts, 3 45-minute classes, or some of our community will do hybrid. So they might do 2 full-length live sessions and then 2 mini on-demand sessions to hit that 2.5 hour threshold. Again, when you hit that 2.5 hours, it's like your body kicks into a new gear. That's when you start to feel the difference, not just on a day-to-day basis, but every single day. You need to be hitting that 2.5 hour threshold. So if you've been, exercising, you're like, I don't really feel a difference, you're probably not hitting that moderate to vigorous intensity threshold at 2.5 hours, because once you hit it, you notice a difference in your week, okay? In terms of fitness, personalized workout plan based on where you are in our curriculum. Hopefully that'll make sense. You can probably already see where you fit into that. And in terms of the sessions themselves, like I said, phase one, doesn't matter, cardio, strength, any classes, you just wanna hit that 2.5 hours. Beyond that, then we would look at splitting out cardio, strength, recovery in that training split, okay? All our sessions, dance-based. So you've seen lots of videos, they are high energy, they're intense, and there's modifications no matter what fitness level you're at. It's all body weight, but super, super, super fun. It feels like a dance party, but underneath, again, we won't go too much into the exercise sides, there's like athletic training built into the core. So you are building lean muscle mass, you're building endurance, and you're getting amazing, amazing physical results, okay? Does that all make sense? That's how fitness works. So personalized training plan, again, 3 sessions a week for most of us, right? 6 weeks. That all make sense? Okay. In terms of the live class schedule, now this is really cool. I'm gonna talk about this at the end because there's 2 options. You can do fully in person, hybrid, or online. So we have those options depending on how close you live to our physical studio here downtown. Again, if the closer you live, the better, because we love to have you in person, but we have online options that are also amazing and so convenient, especially in the winter, like when it's cold and dark, Anyways, I digress. Live class times, evenings and weekends. We have classes 7 days a week. In the evenings, 5:30, 6:15, 7 o'clock. We might be adding a 7:45 on specific days, depending on current member enrollment, but 5:30, 6:15, 7, and Saturday and Sunday mornings, okay? Those are the class times. So if you're looking at your schedule right now, I want you to actually take a second to do this right now. If you're seriously considering this challenge of how would this fit into my life, could you find 3 time slots in a week that you could attend live? 5:30, 6:15, 7 in the evenings, Saturday, Sunday morning, 10:30. Actually take a second. Do you see? Pick days. Any days, whatever fits your schedule the best. I actually want you to write this, write it down right now. This is part of your homework, okay? Now, you're not married to these times forever. You don't have to attend live at those times. But when we create, this is how we create the structure so you get that consistency. You have your regular time slots. There's 2 reasons for this. 1, you can plan the rest of your life around it, right? So you're telling your partner, your friends, your coworkers, your family, oh, let's go to this activity, let's go for a drink after work, let's do this. You're like, oh, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, those are my shine days, right? You can plan your life around it. Now, if something comes up, you're like, okay, best friend's birthday, can't miss that. Instead of Monday, I'm gonna reschedule to Tuesday, right? So you have access to all the different live classes, but the difference between waking up every day going, should I go today or should I not, versus it's already my schedule. You wanna make it harder to cancel than to schedule, right? You wanna commit and make it harder for yourself to cancel and reschedule than to actually just show up. So you can always sub your day if you need to. But the other benefit, other than planning your life around it, the second piece that makes the biggest difference is when you're attending the same live classes, you get the same instructor. So the instructor starts to know your name. They get to watch your form. They get to see your improvements. They get to coach you better. So you get more, higher quality coaching. And it's usually the same other people who are attending the regular live days and times, okay? Same other people attending the regular live days and times. What that means, you can actually build friends, You can make friends because the same people are in the same classes at the same times each week. Instead of feeling like it's day 1 all over again, and every day is a new set of people, you're like, oh, I'm gonna see you next week. Okay, see, and then you actually see the same person next week. So that's how you can start to build friends. And the key here is friends who have similar goals as you, right? Friends who are also trying to become the best version of themselves. Friends who also want to exercise consistently, because You know the saying, like you're the summary of the five people you spend the most amount of time with. So force yourself to spend time with people who are also doing the thing that you want to do, right? Okay, that's everything about fitness, is that the scheduling, all of that makes sense. Yeah? Okay. Again, now, if you're like, you know what, I actually want to do 4 sessions a week. Again, I would say for the first at least 2-3 weeks, stick to the 3. Once you've nailed that, we can move you up. You'd work with this with your coach directly and in your accountability calls, which I'll get to in a second. Now, second piece, I said fitness, mindset, accountability, mindset. This is where the transformation truly happens. So everyone in a challenge gets access to our mindset transformation course. This is our standard course that we give to you. It's a video on demand course. So it's 6 weeks long. It's 1 video a week, 10 to 15 minutes each. It's a very low time commitment. And each video goes through how to change your mindset, how to build the identity of a fit person, how to show up when your schedule changes, when you get sick, when you take time off, how do you get back into it? How do you constantly have the motivation to show up and to do this, right? All these concepts we've learned from working with over 1,500 women. It's the same set of mindset that you need. So instead of doing it the way I did it, which was like figuring it out through failing each step of the way, we give you the exact things you need to think and you need to change and you need to do so that you can be successful. And the rate of transformations we're seeing gets faster and faster and faster of people showing up consistently because our mindset training and our course is getting like better and better and better. So 1 video a week, each 6 weeks. If you happen to have already done the mindset transformation course, there are bonus mindset training coming specifically for the New Year's transformation challenge that are specific to New Year's, okay? So there's some extra bonuses in there up above and beyond the regular mindset transformation course. It sounds like, okay, that's so easy, right? I guess I'll do the mindset course, like whatever. This is where the transformation really happens. This is the game changer of what makes the challenge different, okay? Now, last piece, accountability. So we know members who start with accountability are over twice as likely to stick with this lifestyle transformation for a year or longer. Why is that? Because it takes 6 weeks to build a habit. Once you've built a habit consistently, it's easy to maintain. Think of, okay, the last time you started a new job, the first few weeks, it's like everything, you have to think so hard about where everything is and how to like commute there, how to get in the car and go. But then once you're in the routine, you don't even have to think about the commute there. Like you just know this is my subway route, this is how I get in the car, this is where I drive, this is where I go, this is how to do the job, and it kind of becomes on autopilot. It's the same thing when it comes to fitness. So in the beginning, motivation is high, but routine and structure are not there. We want to hack your motivation. We have videos on this for the first 6 weeks. So you build the routine. After 6 weeks, you should not need accountability. You should not need somebody like breathing down your neck, being like, when are you coming? What did you do last week? What's your plan? Because you have the knowledge, you have the community, you have the friends, you have the mindset, okay? But in the time when you're building the knowledge, community, friends, and mindset, that's when we want to hold you accountable to sticking to the plan. Because the thing is, we know when you follow our curriculum, our training program, and you do your mindset trainings, this works. And you are going to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. You are going to see measurable improvements in your quality of life, in your energy, in your sleep, in your mental health, in your anxiety, in your general happiness on a day-to-day basis. You're gonna make new friends. Like we know this all will happen if you do the program. So we wanna make sure we're holding you accountable to doing the program so you can get the result that you want, okay? How do we hold you accountable? Like I said, you have a coach one-on-one. You can message them anytime, any day, and they will respond within 24 hours with any questions you have. Beyond that, every week you get a weekly accountability call. Now, this is on Zoom. It's a small group call. So it's you and 5 other challengers who are in your cohort, okay? And what you're gonna go through in this accountability call is what workouts did you do last week? What do you have booked for next week? What's your plan? Any changes we need to your training plan? Any days off? Any substitutions? So your coach will check that over. What wins did you have from last week? What went well, right? We wanna celebrate your wins because even things that sounds like simple, like I showed up to all 3 classes, whereas you know how it is, January, your course will be, oh, I try the resolutions every year, like, we'll see how it goes, just 1 week, don't get too excited. But it is something to be excited about when you have started to make this change and show up in a new way. So we wanna make sure we're celebrating those wins and getting you that positive reinforcement to keep going. And then, of course, any challenges, any struggles, because it's fun, but it's not gonna be easy the whole time. There's obviously gonna be roadblocks that we can't even anticipate that come up, which we have seen before a lot of times and know how to deal with. So any challenges, any struggles, we're there to coach you through and support you, whether that's fitness related or not, because It's really, like I said, it's not just about the workouts, it's about everything in your life. So you get that weekly accountability call on Zoom. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so fitness, mindset, accountability. And the extra piece of accountability that our New Year's Transformation Challengers are getting is not only we have your weekly accountability call, you're also gonna get access to a private Slack channel with all the other challengers. So Slack is like a communication app where you can message, audio note, picture, video, everything. And you'll get that 24/7 Slack channel there to be motivating you, holding you accountable, making you friends, all that fun stuff. So you get access to that as well, okay? Fitness, mindset, and accountability. That is how the program works. And like I said, starts January 6th, runs for 6 weeks, okay? The start date, like I said, live cohort, the start date is not negotiable. If you're like, wait, that program sounds amazing, can I get it at a different time of the year? Because I'm not here in January, send us a message, we'll talk, okay? We'll see what we can do for you. But if you wanna do the New Year's Transformation Challenge, it does start January 6th, which means registration is happening in December, which is also why I've pre-recorded this video for you so that you can get all the information you need to pre-register and come in and we can start strong, ready to go with so much energy on January 6th. Now, the last thing I will explain about the challenge is the win-back option. So this is standard, same with any 6-week challenge that we offer. Our win-back program is as follows. Because we know the program works if you do it. We want to incentivize you to do it, not just with accountability, but also with like carrot and stick. This is the carrot, okay? The win back. If you finish 90% of the New Year's Transformation Challenge, 90% of 3 workouts a week, 90% of your mindset transformation course, and 90% of your accountability calls. Now, we don't expect perfection because nobody's perfect. Everybody has off days, sick days, mental health days, etc. But 90%, then everything you invest into the challenge, you will win back as credit on your account with us. Everything you invest into the challenge, you will, if you finish 90%, win back as credit on your account with us. It's crazy. Now, this credit can be used for up to a year, okay? Up to a year. If, for example, you're like, I want to pay for the Year of Change program in full, the whole credit gets deducted right away. If you're like, I want to do 6 months, then you get half the credit. If you're like, I want to go 3 months at a time, then you get a quarter of the credit. Like, I want to pay month by month, it's our most popular option. I want to pay month by month, then we chop up your credit into 12 pieces, okay? And then you get a discounted membership every single month. If you end up staying for the entire year, as you can start to see, this means you'll have won back your entire credit, which effectively made your New Year's Transformation Challenge free, okay? Now, if you're like, do I have to sign up at the end of 6 weeks? No, it's a 6-week, it's like basically 6-week trial. It's long enough for you to actually see some results, feel a difference, but it's short enough that you're like, okay, I think I can commit to 6 weeks. Like, I can see where I'm gonna be mid-February, right? At the end of 6 weeks, if you wanna continue, you get that win back credit. If you're like, nope, this was great, I'm good, I don't wanna keep going. This doesn't happen very often, but if it does, then there's no commitment, there's no buyout, there's no cancellation, nothing like that. You just paid for 6 weeks and that's it, okay? Now, there is a pre-sale happening. That is happening in 2024. If you sign up before the year ends, then you will get a special pre-sale rate. If you wait until January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, you pay at the normal rate. And all registration must be done before January 6th for our live cohort happening. There are 20 spots available. That is a hard cap because of the number of coaching staff we have available. And I obviously want to make sure that you get the quality and the attention to be successful in the program. So you can look at all the rates and all the information about the pre-sale and the regular sign up on the landing page. It's all there. If you need a payment plan option, okay, we have weekly payment plans available. So it costs a little bit more to be on a payment plan just because it's higher risk, but that option is there. If you have the financial needs, maybe you get some money from Santa, I don't know, pay the whole program upfront. It's gonna be a lot easier for you, I promise. Okay, I'm not just saying that, I promise it is actually the better option if you have the means to do so, okay? That is how the program works. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to message us, but you should be able to, once you finish this whole video and gone through the application, that should be so comprehensive and answer almost any single question that you got. Probably the only question left is like, okay, can I really do this? Especially if you've tried resolutions before, you've tried other challenges, other things, and you're like, is this gonna be different? I will tell you, you will not give yourself the opportunity for it to be different if you don't give it a shot. So if that little voice inside of you is like, maybe this could be it, and you're scared, that's good. If you're not scared at all, you're probably not a good fit for the challenge because it means we're actually not coaching you to a new level. If you're like, 6 weeks, no problem. we have other programs that might give you the challenge that you need to take you to the next level. But some amount of fear, it's a healthy amount of fear, it's a healthy amount of nerves. That's good. We want to channel that energy into making this change. Now, in terms of your application, get your application in. There will be a call step of the process where we want to make sure it's a good fit and you are actually, ready, you're dedicated, you're ready to commit, you're going to be enthusiastic, you're going to be part of the community, you're going to be social and adding to our wonderful community here. So fill that out, and if you have any questions, reach out. I am so excited to hopefully help you crush your first 6 weeks of 2025 and then the rest of the year.